the commanding officer of a ship is pretty cool. I'm Commander Nadia Shields. I'm the commanding officer of HMCS Max Bernays. I joined the Navy when I was 18. So the things that interested and inspired me at that time are very different than now, and very similar to what 18-year-olds would be interested in, which was getting an education and then possible job experience after. So I joined and I went to the Royal Military College of Canada. Max Bernays is a special ship because it's the only Arctic and offshore patrol ship on the Pacific coast right now. And our task is to be able to function in first-year ice up in the Arctic. And that's generally what our raison d'etre is. But we can actually do anything within the spectrum of conflict up to where warfare would break out. And that's typically with the frigates. So we can do things like marine interdiction, humanitarian and disaster relief. We can do presence ops, and of course we can function up in the Arctic for extended periods of time. I think what surprises my friends and family the most about my job and being the commanding officer of a ship is they don't really think of me as the commanding officer of a ship. I do have 3 kids from 9, 7, and 5. And when they do ask questions, it's like a shock to them every single time. All the things that I get to do as part of my job.